Mr. Speaker, time is 12. I move that SO5 to be suspended for the business of the House to continue.
I thank the Honourable Member for being so observant in the absence of both the Chief Whip and his deputy. Any seconder to that motion? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. And those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
Get set, ready, and you do this now.
We apologize for the delay. We have stopped at 23:24. Ms. Manti Tarawali. Thank you. Thank you. Proposed Minister of State, Vice President's Office. Ms. Manti Tarawali is a versatile professional and gender activist who has served various institutions, both local and global. She was appointed Gender and Children's Affairs Minister in November 2019 to address the inequalities faced by women in Sierra Leone and to strengthen child protection landscape in the ministry. Guided by her conviction, she impacted in 2020 the development of gender equality and women's empowerment, GIWI, policies which recently became the GIWI Act. The committee commended her for this brave action taken. Take note of the correction, please. In responding to the committee on how the GIWI Act will be championed across all sections of society, Madam Tarawali said, quoting her, "My way of implementation, many initiatives have to be taken, including national gender mainstreaming. Even though I have been transferred from the ministry, I will still use my expertise to work closely with all stakeholders to implement this GIWI Act." The nominee has lots of achievements to her credit, ranging from government circle, where she facilitated the integration of sexuality and gender rights education in school system in Sierra Leone, to private entities, where she served as country director for the First Solutions, Marriage Stop Sierra Leone, UNFPA, and host of others. She holds a master's degree in project management from the University of Salford, United Kingdom, and has won lots of awards for her humanitarian services. This committee still reaffirms all recommendations made on this nominee during the 5th session of Parliament. Except on the first sitting of the committee dated 21st July 2023, Dr. David Moinina Senge,
by asking the nominee to please acknowledge the reception that he has just received.
Thank you. This special. Dr. David Moinina Senge, proposed Chief Minister. Dr. Senge is a scientist with data-driven expertise to transform institutions through real innovations and through real motivations and innovations. After a bachelor's degree in biomedical engineering in 2010 from Cambridge, MA, he pursued a master's degree of science in 2012 from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Cambridge, MA, and a Doctor of Philosophy. Thank you. From the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, Cambridge, MA, and a Doctor of Philosophy degree, PhD, from the same institute in 2016. In September 2017, he was manager IBM Research Africa in South Africa, a data-driven healthcare team of scientists and engineers to deploy healthcare innovations in Africa. Dr. David Moinina Senge is a co-founder and president of the board of Global Minimum INC in Cambridge, Massachusetts. He is currently the owner and lead designer of Nearly Clothing, a designing company based in Sierra Leone. Prior to his appointment, as Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education in 2019. He transformed the technological outlook of President Bio's governance system. In his capacity as Chief Minister, Chief Innovation, More Officer at the Directorate of Science, Technology and Innovation at State House, a position he held for less than 2 years. He energized motivational outreach schemes to schools in all corners of Sierra Leone, coupled with enforced digitalization of the basic and senior and secondary education sector, brought even the remotest school under government watch for assessment. In his response to serve as nerve center of the operations of the ministries and other government functionaries, the landed erudite young doctor said, quoting him, "I feel honored and lucky to be appointed to this office and will discharge my duties with utmost sincerity, sense of purpose and humanity. My main focus is to remove bottlenecks from my colleagues in government and across society and to encourage My main focus is to remove bottlenecks from my colleagues in government and across society and to encourage in consultation with various sectors to ensure those citizens' voices and contributions to governance are taken into consideration." End of quote. He promised to ensure effective implementations of government manifestos, commitments through robust monitoring and digital innovations. He ended on optimism that the useful cabinet of His Excellency will measure up to expectations as they have potential and energy to move with the growing governance demands of the world. Dr. Henry Musa Parker. Dr. Henry Musa Parker is a Dr. Henry Musa Parker, proposed minister, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Dr. Henry Musa Parker is a development economist with professional experience spanning over 12 years. He has proven track record in economic analysis, strategic development, data systems, and project management with multinational donor organizations, including the World Bank Group, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations, International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, IITA. Dr. Henry Musa Parker graduated with a PhD from London School of Economics and Political Science in 2021. He holds a master's degree in public administration, specialized in international development from Harvard University, Massachusetts, United States of America. He was appointed as Chief Technical Advisor, Office of the Chief Minister in July 2021, a position he held until his recent appointment as Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. During his term, he provided strategic advice to the Minister of Agriculture in designing and rolling out of policies to boost agricultural productivity in Sierra Leone. This proven development expert dialogue with members on wide-ranging issues from agro sector polarization by the government as flagship program, policy and research permission to rural productive sector and productivity digitalization for quick reflection on donor support impact. To these, Dr. Parker endorsed, quoting him, "I am very much aware of the enormity of the task ahead of me. I am fully prepared for it. I am not a stranger to the Ministry of Agriculture. My first priority is to develop a database reporting of our agricultural productivity, example, baseline data and annual data to inform the policies of the ministry. To energize large-scale production, we must invest in energy as a means to boost up continuous cultivation, especially in our inland valleys where irrigation is required during periods of fewer rainfalls. To achieve desired results, the nominee said, leading by example and engaging people to emulate will be his guiding principle rather than be dictatorial. He concluded on sound note that utilizing the huge portion of unutilized lands in the provinces, including Tomamo, was his focus. Recommendations. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the committee adjourned the foreign presidential nominees to be adequately qualified for their proposed appointment, and they are recommended to the House for approval. 1. Ambassador Amara Sheikh Muhammad Sowa, proposed deputy permanent representative to the United Nations. Mr. Afenmoy Jamiru, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Local Government and Community Affairs. Madam Phyllis Kapu, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Lands and Housing, Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Engineer Dr. Edwin Tude Taylor, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Energy. Mrs. Emily K. Gogra, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Basic and Secondary School. Mrs. Christiana Queen Fofana, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Ports and Public Assets. Mr. Ibrahim Sano, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Communication, Technology and Innovation. Mr. Kai Lawrence Bayo, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Sports. Mr. Hindoa Buakai Bindi, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs. Colonel, retired, Mwana Brema Masakwe, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Defense. Mr. Sabi Hemo, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Dr. Teresa Tenedi, proposed deputy minister, 1, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Dr. Charles Senesi, proposed deputy minister, 1, Ministry of Health. Mr. Mohamed Lansana Dumbuya, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Employment, Labour and Social Security. Dr. Ramatullah Wuri Haja, proposed minister, Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. Mrs. Haja Aisata Abulai Kamara, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources. Mrs. Mahamusu Masakwe, proposed minister, 2, Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education. Mrs. Nabila Farida Tunis, minister, Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. Dr. David Moyina Senge, proposed deputy minister. Dr. Moyina Senge, proposed chief minister. Dr. Erin Musa Parker, proposed minister, Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Reverend Dr. Jonathan Titus Williams, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Planning and Economic Development. Dr. Khadijatu Grace A. Kamara, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Tourism and Cultural Affairs. Dr. Alfred G. O. Dixon, proposed chairman, Sierra Leone Agricultural Research Institute Council. Mr. Rex Bonafa, proposed deputy minister, Ministry of Tourism and Aviation. Ms. Pansy Tarawali, proposed minister of State Vice President's Office. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the third report reflects a unanimous view of the committee. I therefore move that the third report of the first session of the Committee on Appointment and Public Service be adopted by the House and that the recommendations contained therein be approved. Signed, submitted, read by Honorable Matthew Sanuma, JP, from Bukakajama Bulamayama. Thank you.
I thank the leader of government business. May I have a seconder to the motion, please?
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so second.
Honorable members, the question is that the third report of the first session of the 6th Parliament of the Committee on Appointments and the Public Service be adopted by the House, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved. Before I open the debate, I will start with you, seconder of the motion. Let us have certain ground rules agreed. The first ground rule is this. I have received a report indicating the honorable members of Parliament who've had the privilege of catching this eye of the Speaker previously on this very matter, namely the approval of presidential nominees. So, let us apply the principle of equity. And that demands that if you've already taken the floor, please allow your colleagues who have not yet spoken to now take the floor and be heard. In the same manner that you wish to be heard, so I'm sure your colleagues also want to be heard by their constituents and the nation as a whole. That's the first ground rule. Second, there has to be a time limit now. And let me hear if the principle of equity has infused itself in the thinking of members of Parliament. Let me hear from you. What suggestion would you like to give me? How many minutes?
10. No, 5. Like yesterday, 5. 3 minutes. 5. So we accommodate more. 5.
Okay, let's do a straw poll. Can I ask you to rise and show me how many of you wish to take the floor today? How many? You know what this means? We'll be here tonight. And this, what I see in front of me is minus the leadership. Minus the leadership who might want to catch my eye at any given time. So, let's limit it to 3 minutes. Agreed? Apart from the seconder of the motion. And Mr. Seconder, I will limit you to 6 minutes, which is double the time of your colleagues. Let's get cracking. Over to you, Seconder.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to begin by thanking His Excellency the President for presenting these nominees to the House for approval.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the nominees you have chosen from the many sierraleoneans who contributed to the success of this government by His Excellency the President to come helping in achieving his agenda. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the people of Sierra Leone are yearning for development. We are lagging behind, and these nominees should speed up. Because at the end of the day, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, excuses will not be tolerated. Our people are not ready for excuses, they are ready for performance. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, if these nominees succeed, they will be succeeding for us as members of Parliament. Because in 2028, Mr. Speaker, our faces will be on the ballot paper. And the questions our constituents ask us are the questions that should be answered by the executive branch of government. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, our constituents have the strongest conviction that we members of Parliament are responsible for primary development. Mr. Speaker, and to our constituents, I want to make it very clear that the questions you put to us during the elections are to be answered by these nominees. But at the end of the day, we are punished. We members of Parliament are punished for the jobs the executive does. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, That is why when we have appointees and our constituents are here, I'll make sure I explain to them. Because at the end of the day, they know our phone numbers, they know our addresses, they visit us, they believe we're in charge of development, they believe we're in charge of recruitment, they believe we are in charge of everything in Sierra Leone. But I want to make it clear that we members, we have 3 core functions. We represent you here, we make laws on behalf of the people, and we perform.
I think after his approval today, we probably need a special visit from the designated chief minister. As you can see, our technology here is not functioning well. Where is the mobile mic?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, if these appointees fail, they will not just be failing themselves, but they will be failing us, and they will be punishing us. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as I said, our people are of the strong conviction that we are responsible for primary development. We have more than 30 of our colleagues who we are not fortunate to win because of these same questions that we are not able to answer. To the nominees, you've been selected from the numerous sierraleoneans that supported His Excellency the President. He has a lot of confidence in you. He believes in you. Please don't disappoint him. Please don't disappoint this Parliament, and don't disappoint the people of Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the nominees, the President has done due diligence. He has a lot of confidence. He believes they will perform. And we at the committee level, we did our own due diligence. We certified them, and we are confident. We are very, very confident as a committee, based on the interview that they will deliver for us as a Parliament. Mr. Speaker, let me just zero on 3 of them. I begin with the Chief Minister, Dr. Moinin Asenge. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Moinin Asenge is the youngest Chief Minister of Sierra Leone. I am struggling to believe if in future we'll have a Chief Minister that is younger than Dr. Asenge. That shows that His Excellency has a lot of confidence in the young people of Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker,
is the stationary mic working?
Mine is not okay, but we hope this time.
I will permit you to move on to another table, which might work.
Let me use this one. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I will zero in on Dr. Senge. Dr. Senge is the youngest chief minister that has been appointed ever since the position was created. And I believe, Mr. Speaker, future president will struggle to have the likes of Dr. Senge to serve in that position if he doesn't succeed. Mr. Senge, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, that shows that His Excellency has a lot of confidence in young people. In the last government, Mr. Speaker, 2018 through 2023, His Excellency handed the whole arm of government to the young people. This parliament, apart from the Speaker, the leader, the deputy speaker, the deputy leader, the chief whip, all of us, we are below the ages of 50 years.
You will qualify for this.
That shows the level of confidence for a whole arm of government to be handed over to the young people of this country. That shows the level of confidence His Excellency has for the young people of Sierra Leone. Today, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, His Excellency has catapulted that in appointing a young man as Chief Minister of this government. It shows that part of the President and Vice President is the most senior government official below the age of 40. Mr. Speaker, that speaks volume. What His Excellency has done, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, is to bring these young people, and these young people are going to be used as guinea pigs. If they succeed, Mr. Speaker, future presidents will bring more young people along. But if they fail, they will not be failing themselves, they will be failing the young people of Sierra Leone. Because in the future, if these young people fail, no president will be brave or bold enough to employ young people to serve them. We are challenged as young people. The elders still believe we should not be where we are. Our age mates, they believe we should not be where we are. But my appeal to all of us is to support them to succeed. And on this part, in this parliament, Mr. Chief Minister, and I assure you that you will enjoy the utmost support you deserve. You are this parliament, apart from the Speaker, this parliament is led by young people. And there is no way we will not support you in the pursuit of success.
His warranty is still valid. His warranty is still valid. Those of us who were manufactured in the 40s and 50s, your warranty has long ago expired.
Mr. Speaker, to the member of the Ministry of Agriculture is also a young man. That's the priority agenda of His Excellency the President, Dr. Baka. The responsibility given to you is extremely enormous. Of course, Mr. Speaker, we know the cry of the people of Sierra Leone. Food, go to the market, the prices are skyrocketing. Every Sierra Leoneans, we are importing everything we eat. Everything we eat, we are importing. His Excellency has told us that his priority will be feed Sierra Leone. And we should feed ourselves. The only means of fighting hunger is for us to be able to provide for ourselves. So, Mr. Beck, as a young man, we know you are highly educated. Our problem is that there is no education. We have heard, in the last dispensation, there was professors running that ministry. Or we saw the article. So, Mr. Becker and all others that have been appointed, yeah, wish to the Minister of Defense. Of course, we know the current trend of our security, the threat, the social media threat. Please take it very seriously. Make sure you work with your officers to make sure you handle the security threat of Sierra Leone. You are wished well, honorable members, Speaker. You are wished well, the Minister of Education. Of course, the members of Parliament will be bringing their list. The constituents will be running to our offices. They'll be asking us for SLG. Of course. Madam Minister will be speaking to me office very soon. Very, very soon. Before that, we had the Minister before you supported this Parliament immensely. We hope you follow suit. We have a very vibrant deputy minister. He is a friend of this parliament. We hope you will also be the friend of this parliament. At least he's coming or visit you. Because if you don't support us, our constituents will run after us. They want to be educated, they don't have the ability, they don't have the capacity. I wish you an honorable members, and I wish you success in your new office. Thank you very much.
Fine. Despite this parliament having passed the Giwi Act, which enjoins us to recognize equality between the genders, in certain circumstances, we do give priority to women.
The youngest.
So let me start.
With the youngest.
With the youngest?
Yes.
For years.
The youngest.
Well, I stand to be advised by the mama of the house. Who is the youngest?
The youngest from Kono.
You have the floor.
We overthrown her.
This is the age of the young.
Yes. This is the age of the young. That is why
She has been overthrown.
she has
By the way, if you know your name is on this list, and you spoke at the last approval sitting, please don't bother to try to catch my eye. Allow your colleagues to not spoken to do so. You have the floor, Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am Honorable Siamahoa Abiamatomi, representing the Fire East, the Middle East, the Far East, commonly known as Kono District. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today I stand before you with immense gratitude and pride as I address this esteemed gathering. It is an honor for me to express my heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency for his unwavering support to gender equality and youth empowerment. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to commend His Excellency for transforming the 30% women representation from mere lip service to a tangible reality. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, today in our midst, we are blessed with eminent women in the persons of Ms. Phyllis Kapu, Mrs. Emily Dogra, Mrs. Christiana Queen Fofana, Dr. Teresa Kennedy, Dr. Ramatulai Uri, Mrs. Hajar Aisata Abdullahi, Mrs. Mamusu Masakoi, Mrs. Nabila Farida Tunis, Dr. Khadija Grace Kamara, Mrs. Manti Tarawa. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, these are not just ordinary women. They are women of substance. They are women with transformative ideas. They are women that are ready to move Sierra Leone. They are women that are ready to take Sierra Leone to another level. These are women with fresh perspectives. These are women that have been battle tested. These are women that are fit for purpose. These are women that are ready. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, as it is once said by Hillary Clinton, when women participate in politics, the effect ripple out across nations. Women are the world's most unused resources. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the women and young people of this nation have been called to serve, and we have answered diligently to serve to the best of our ability. The women and young people of this nation, we are the missing pieces for nation building, and we are here to make sure that we help His Excellency to deliver on his manifesto. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to zoom in on the proposed Deputy Minister of Sports, Kyle Lawrence Bayo. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr.
You want to call Usai? Briwa. Go on.
Let's talk it.
Yeah. Sabotage. When I don't sabotage them.
Yeah, the daughter of Mama. Speak.
No let her move. Go. Flow.
Mr. Speaker,
You've exhausted your time,
No, not for the.
but I will treat you as an exception for 2 reasons.
Yes.
One is your maiden speech.
Yes.
thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Second, you come from where the wise man comes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Kyle Lawrence Bayo is a man that is fit for purpose. This is a man that traveled the length and breadth of Kono District to spread the gospel of President Biyo's re-election.
The proposed chief minister take note of the technology updated as modern and not fit for purpose.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Mr. Kyle Lawrence Bayo is a man that traveled the length and breadth of Kono District to spread the gospel of the re-election of President Biyo. Mr. Kyle Lawrence Bayo campaigned like his life depended on the winning of this election. Mr. Kyle Lawrence Bayo has shown that he is indeed a trusted servant. It was under his leadership as the Deputy Minister of Sports that Sierra Leone succeeded in contesting in the African Nations Cup after over 20 years. Leone actually did well, though we were not fortunate to win the cup, but we did well and the nation celebrated Leone. We qualified and we did well. So Mr. Kyle Lawrence Bayo's reappointment is indeed a deserving one. Mr. Speaker, let me zoom in on Mr. Rex Bonhoeffer. Mr. Rex Bonhoeffer is a man that has been battle tested. He is a man that is fit for purpose. This is a man that traveled throughout Kono districts. He traveled the eastern region, to ensure that President Biyo was elected. He campaigned. This is a man that we called overnight, invited him to an activity, and he was there. He presented himself, and he did well. This is a man that is ready to serve his nation, and I have no iota of doubt in him that he is going to deliver again. Mr. Speaker, honorable member, it is a blessing for our generation to have a genius with the name of Dr. David Moyni Asenge. And I'm saying this with immense happiness, to be serving under the same government with Dr. David Moyni Asenge. It is a blessing for our generation. Dr. David Moyni Asenge is indeed a genius. These are the kind of doctors that we want to see in Sierra Leone, not the theoretical doctors. The doctors that will just be carrying titles and not working. The doctors that cannot put what they've learned into practical. Dr. Senge, we the young people of this nation, we are looking up to you in your capacity as Chief Minister to see that you can take your expertise to other ministries, to assist other ministers. Because we are tired of celebrating glorified doctors that cannot deliver. Please, Mr. Minister, assist us. And before I forget, to Dr. Matulai Wumi. As members of Parliament from Kono, we had a campaign message. And part of that campaign message was the Kono University of Science and Technology. We are pleading to you that you please use your office to ensure that that university kickstarts. The people of Kono deserve to be educated. And President Bio told us that that particular project is heartbeat. And we want to see that manifested. Madam Minister, please, the people of Kono are not people to toy with. The people of Kono are people that are very decisive. And we campaigned with a message that President Bio gave us, that Kono matters. And we want to see that manifested in the education sector. Thank you.
I thank the honorable member from Kono. There is a golden age coming from Kono. After diamonds, we see gold, represented by human capital development. I'm still going to focus attention on the women. And if you know your name is already here, kindly do yourself the service, not catching my eye. I'll give the floor to the honorable lady from Shebima. Honorable lady, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, one. Well, while you are debating, let me give the honorable lady at the far end there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members.
Lady from Tikonko.
Tikonko woman is over there.
Where is Tikonko?
She's over there. She's over there.
Where is the lady from Tikonko?
She's over there, Speaker.
I've already. No, you've spoken. So kindly take your seat. Kindly take your seat, madam. I can be a witness to that. Madam, you have spoken. The last time I explained you did.
Lolo has spoken as well. Lolo has spoken as well.
Lady of the 5th Parliament, you've spoken
Yeah, you
to.
spoke. And Vera has spoken as well.
Jibao. She has not.
No, next Lolo has spoken. Lolo.
You have the floor first.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Honorable members, I am Honorable India to Tarawali Mustafa from the Kelema district. Congratulations, ladies. I'm going to be focusing on the women appointees. We have cracked the glass ceiling. We have yet to shatter it. President Bio didn't make a mistake in appointing women, the 30% plus women in his cabinet. You know the saying that we are the head that makes the we are the neck that makes the head too. And we are, because everything we set our minds to, we do it perfectly, very well. I'm going to focus on the Deputy Minister of Works. And for one reason, I come from a Class A chiefdom, the Lower Parliamentary chiefdom. This country has benefited from that chiefdom since the days of SLST, NDMC, and the likes. And that's a diamond area. Anybody that wants to mine in that area now has to do deep mining. My people are not equipped for that. So I have spoken to them, and we are transitioning into agriculture, the president's flagship program. And for us to do that successfully, Madam Minister, we need to get good roads to bring our produce to market. Because we will be dealing with perishable fruits, vegetables. Madam Minister, make that a priority. We are not going back to mining. We need our roads to be in tip-top shape for us to be able to transition from mining into agriculture. Please make that a priority. This country is going to benefit greatly when you have women in strategic places, tourism, education. Let us not take it lightly. What we have now is like a gift handed to us by the president. Let's make good use of it. If we falter, the women of this country will suffer. You have on your shoulders the women of this country, great women. You people have been fortunate to have been chosen. Please don't disappoint us. Please take your task seriously. This is not the time to leisure around. This is the time to work and to prove President Leone right that he did not make a mistake in appointing women or supporting the women's bill. We are looking up to you, all of you. I thank you very much, Mr. President.
I now give the floor to the Honorable Lady from Thailand. How many of you come from Thailand? You have spoken already. I can spot you from a distance. You have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank His Excellency for giving us this beautiful nominee.
Did you hear what I said? By my book, they are priority.
Go ahead. May you leave go.
Can I?
After the women, youth.
Mr. Speaker? Can I?
Who is standing me with Zainab? Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank His Excellency for giving us these beautiful nominees. I'm not going to elaborate too much on what has already been said. I know they are all extremely very, very qualified. Mr. Speaker, when people talk to you about SNPP party, trust me, it's not because they just feel like talking. They want to tell us, and it has been proven, that they have educated, when you want to look for educated people in any party come to SNPP. We've interviewed them, Mr. Speaker. The list we saw was a master's degree holder. They are all masters, PhD holders, etc., etc. And I actually felicitate His Excellency for looking out for such beautiful and strong,
Calibrated.
Mr. Speaker, we are like, what kind of questions are we going to ask these educated people? But we actually managed to interview them, and today they are here for confirmation. I'm actually going to talk in group, like for the ladies. I would like to say thank you to His Excellency, because without the 30%, a lot of them wouldn't have been here today. And I want to actually admonish them to do their best, to do everything within their power to make us proud, we the women in this country today. His Excellency has given us, the opportunity to be proud, opportunity to make Sierra Leone have smiles on their faces, because if a woman is empowered, each home is also empowered, and there will be smiles on the faces of Sierra Leoneans. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to zoom on two people. The first one is Mr. Hemo. Mr. Hemo was interviewed not long ago, and I'm not actually going to say much about him. He is in the Ministry of Agriculture, and we all know that our flagship project is agriculture. And Mr. Hemo, we are actually looking up to you in the Eastern Province to do your level best, so that Sierra Leone could be proud of us, because we have fertile lands in our place, and our women, 80% of them are in agriculture. We wish and we pray that will make His Excellency's flagship comes up beautifully from the Eastern Province of this country. And then secondly, I want to, for the youth, especially, we have a lot of, when you think about tourism, education, Hajjaba, information, health minister, these are young ladies. And Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you something which I actually encountered in Mozambique. When I finished my speech, there's a Cameroonian lady that came up and gave this speech. And after that, at the end of her speech, you know what he said? She said to us, I would like each African country to have a Benkefal. But I was so happy to a point that Mozambique, from Sierra Leone to Mozambique, there was a Benkefal there, talking to them indirectly. At the end of the day, she came and she said we should take a picture together. But I believe the picture was not taken. She actually did not mean to take a picture with me. She was like taking picture with Benkefala in spirit. So this is what I actually want the youth, because His Excellency has confidence in you. And we would like to hear about Sierra Leone outside Sierra Leone. Why are we hearing that? Because he's extremely doing very well. And secondly, I would like also to end up with who can stand here without talking about Dr. Senge? There's no way. Dr. Senge, you are just a genius, and I traveled with him, and I was sitting down while my daughter was watching, and at the end of the day, she's asked me, Mom, can she SO2, did they talk Creole? I said, why? Except she looks like somebody who speaks Creole. That shows the perfection when he speaks. When he starts to talk to you, you believe you can even gossip in any other language. So, Mr. Senge, I think Galaxy, you've gone up so much that maybe we'll try to see you in Jupiter after some time. Because it's what else can I say? What have you not?
You said it all, no?
So, Dr. Senge, keep it up. You are so young to a point that at your age, some of us were still, working out for something. But look at you, heading distinguished, educated, elderly people in the government. God bless you, and I hope you continue. And on that note, Mr. I would like to tell to each and every one of them who are in different ministries, to tell them, to inform them that there is a bank kefala in each ministry, so they should be careful. Thank you.
This is a convenient point, honorable members, for me to recognize His Worshipful Mayor Kamba Matthew Sam. The Mayor of Guayaquil City. You are most welcome. Any more ladies who qualify? Let me start with the lady in white, and you'll be second.
Yeah, almost exceeded 60%.
Is that the honorable Kumembe?
Yes.
Okay. Now I can recognize.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for catching my eyes. I want to start my intervention by thanking HE President Bio for giving us these fine nominees. First, let me start from my district. My sister, Dr. Tenedi, that is going to the Ministry of Agriculture, and also my brother, Reverend Titus Williams, going to the Ministry of Economic Planning. One thing I love about these people is that they are always visible around the district, propagating the ideas of the Sierra People's Party to the grassroots and the government. And also, most of the times they are around the district, and their presence speaks volumes. So because of that, I love them. Unlike some other ministers in those days, that they drew that line of demarcation between themselves and the grassroots. And there is one thing in this country: you can never become a minister or a deputy minister without a political party. That is the fact. And so, what makes the political party is the grassroots. So politicians have respect for the grassroots. I value them. And of course, their output in the last government is what have led them to be reappointed by His Excellency the President for this second term. So my brother and my sister, I love you people, and I hope you will serve in this present government with the best of your ability, so that His Excellency will look forward to give positions to more people from Bond District, because we are a super people. Let me zoom in to the Minister of Agriculture, the proposed Minister of Agriculture. Mr. Minister, you are here going to the Minister of Agriculture. The people of Sierra Leone and the Sierra Leone People's Party are looking highly to you, because right now we are in a hurry. The bread and butter did not succeed the last time because of so many reasons. And this time around, you are there for solution. We don't want to hear any other further problems in the agriculture sector.
We don't want to hear about any other excuses. But to let you take that ministry to a higher height.
With our support.
And the other thing I want to tell you
With our support.
is that you please intensify your monitoring and supervision to the Tomabom rice farm if you want to see desired results. Because that is the place that we are highly looking up to, but without monitoring and supervision, it will be a fruitless endeavor. And I hope the Committee on Agriculture will be robust this time to do their oversight on all agricultural sectors in this country. Because the people of this country voted basically massively for President Bio because of the first pillar of the People's Manifesto, which said, "Fields alone." And so, if you are going to that ministry, you do your best so that you will keep on flying the flag of Sierra Leone. And you will, by that, you will keep the Sierra Leone People's Party in power for the past decades, for the coming decades, and also to keep APC in permanent opposition. In these few words, I want to say thank you, Mr. Speaker, once again.
After this speaker, it will be the turn of the paramount chiefs.
Mr. Speaker,
The same rules will apply to the paramount chiefs. The principle of equity, they apply it in their chiefdoms.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, and my wonderful ministers, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I just have a little word to say to my ministers. Kudos to you all, because it is because you are relevant in this party that we are in. That is why you are nominated to be ministers. All of us know what the President of Sierra Leone, His Excellency, wants. He wants us to feed Sierra Leone. To the Minister of Agriculture, please, we are coming. The members of Parliament and even the ministers, all of us should go back to our districts, our regions, to do farming so we can feed ourselves. Mr. Bonafa, you have been a strong man. You have been a lion. And a lion is a lion. He walks in his territory. Thank you, because you have been an obedient man to His Excellency the President. Mr. Speaker, fellow members of Parliament, I want to talk about a very young man called Mr. Senge. He has been my boyfriend. Yes. Mr. Speaker, members of Parliament, this young man you see is the greatest young man I have never seen in the history of Sierra Leone. If I am here today as a member of Parliament, he is the one who campaigned in this West Urban District that we are here today. I want to say, Mr. Minister, kudos. It's just because you are wonderful. That is why you are nominated. And continue to do the job that you know to do best. On that note, I want to talk about my sister Phyllis, a very humble woman with a humble beginning. Phyllis, you love party people, continue to do that. My ladies, it is time for us to rise up. Rise up, women, because we want to be president of Sierra Leone one day. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, watch out. Very soon, we are going to be one of the presidents in Sierra Leone. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate all my ministers. Please, Reverend will be coming to pray for you. Thank you, Mr. Minister.
I thank the Honorable Lady. Order. My reason for giving priority to the ladies this morning and afternoon is quite deliberate. I think the Mama of the House will bear witness to the fact that as Speaker of the Fifth Parliament, I labored in the vineyard of hard work to get us the Gateway Act and 42 women in Parliament. And when I keep hearing what the women are saying today, they vindicate the advocacy that I made. Thank you very much indeed. I will continue to fight for your cause. Now the paramount chiefs who have not yet spoken. I do recall with the greatest deference to the paramount chief from Pujo. I want to believe you've spoken. And during the time I presided over, you spoke. So I will give the floor to the paramount chief from Bond. Is it Bond? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I would like to congratulate Mr. Speaker because I was not opportune the last time to do so. Congratulations, sir, for your election. To the nominees, congratulations. You're highly lucky. Most of you there are young people. As said earlier by my colleagues, you are representing the young people. You were nominated by His Excellency and the community to represent us and the young people. If you fail the young people, you have failed the entire country. Please, take your work or your job or your offices seriously. Mr. Speaker, I would like you to relay this message to His Excellency. He told us about the 30% for women. We are seeing it here. He has done it. Thank you. We appreciate that. My word of advice to you people, the nominees, please. As you know, the president has the right to hire and fire. Take your job seriously. I know you, most of you, I know you. You are very good at your work. Please continue. Do your job. A piece of advice, please. People have been there on that seat, or people who are there, they are not here today with us, or in their offices. The same way we go around, if you did not partake, may the Lord forbid. Do your work and continue your work. Let me zoom up as how my elder brother said. Let me zoom up to my retired Colonel Mohana. He has been my boss. I know him very well. I love you, sir. I know your worth, and people know your worth. You have been there for 5 years. Please, sir, continue, sir, and do your best. You are the deputy. You've done all. You waited from the job. You stay as a civilian until you were appointed as a minister. Please, let everyone know that if it's in the uniform, if you want to become a politician, let him resign and become a politician. Thank you. Mrs. Phyllis, my sister, I know you. Very dedicated in your job. Continue, please. Madam Tenedic, I know you. Continue. Mr. Shema of course. You are great. I know your work. Continue, sir. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you all.
Is there any other Paramount Chief wishing to catch my eye?
There's one. Standing.
I see the Paramount Chief of Falapa. I'm afraid. PC Tombos, you have spoken. Kindly take your seat. You know, they are traditional leaders. I always want to give them a special permission. The chief from Kenema? Yes, he has not spoken. You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, colleagues, members of Parliament, today is a big day for me to have been given the first time to speak in this square of Parliament. I've not been privileged to talk, but now I want to hit on the day. Mr. Speaker, sir, your re-election to this position again marks a milestone. When we were away watching TVs in the 5th Parliament, one day I saw your staff being thrown everywhere in the well of Parliament. Everybody looking out for exits. Later, I saw you again sitting on your chair as the Speaker of the House. That means you have a courage. You have a courage. I admire you. Keep it up. Thank you very much for your courage, sir. For those who have been nominated and approved, please hold on. DSPK, the Deputy Speaker, has taken the floor.
The mobile mic, please. PC, did you see us defending the Speaker?
Yeah, I saw some people defending the speaker, but it was in Israel. Well, it's just a small caution for those who have been nominated and who are going to be approved if the will of Parliament so wishes. And we are going to do it, I'm sure, with much confidence. But I have to choose you to a shape. Be cautioned that the person who nominated you, who have brought you to this well of Parliament for approval, is a civilian in disguise. Be very watchful. You have heard from my brother here, Chief Bill, that there were people within in the last session, the last government. Today, where are they? They are lost like a kind of flame. Yes. Because they did not work to his expectations. So be cautioned, my brothers and sisters who have been appointed to those positions. We are looking up to you. We are looking up to you for good work to move Sierra Leone forward, particularly in agriculture and education. Dr. Senga is renowned everywhere. It's known even by the blind people. It's known by the crazy people. Everybody knows him. So we want everybody to copy Dr. Senga. Thank you very much.
I thank the Honorable Parliamentary for his kind sentiments addressed to me. But I just want to assure him that what you saw on television, that's just the hazard of the occupation of speaker. Thank you. I think I've exhausted the ladies. Honorable Paramount Chief Thomas from Calabar. I can verify from the records, sir, that you have spoken. So please, today, take a rest and allow others. You know, I want by the end of the approval process, I would like every member present here to have had their message. So let us apply the principle of equity.
No, for this 6th Parliament.
If you know you've already spoken.
On the matter. On this matter, no.
No, on the matter of approval of presidential nominee. I see you waving your hand vigorously. And if I look at my records,
I'm not spoken.
the last time I presided, you spoke. Let me recognize the member from Calabar.
Which one?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for your magnanimity. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, since time I've been set for all of us, I want to start with my sister. I want to congratulate all the nominees. I want to start with my sister, my beautiful sister sitting here from Falabar District. Dankawan is so proud of you. Falabar is so proud of you. Keep making us proud. You are a hard-working lady. Your dad worked hard for what you are reaping now, and you are working for your children. You are working for Falabar District. We're so proud of you. Mr. Speaker, I want to single out another nominee, Dr. Elbe Taylor. I want to explain how I come to Parliament, Mr. Speaker. If you can give me 10 or 15 minutes to do so. We are not many here today, Mr. Speaker. Those that have not contributed here are just few. Some are lobbying for time. They have spoken here.
Somebody once told me that the young people from Falaba are very greedy.
We are not. We are misunderstood.
I vigorously defended you.
Thank you.
So please.
I'll do justice to the time given. Mr. Speaker, I want to single out Dr. Elliot Taylor. When I was a student in Jalal University, third year, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, a file was sent to me to fill in to apply for the candidature for honorable member of parliament for constituency 39. Then I said, no, I'll go and campaign for my party so that I'll be given scholarship if the SLP wins for me to go and further my education. I said, I'm not intending to go to parliament. I am not interested. This is one of the people who called me and sat me down like a father and said, look, my son, some are looking for this opportunity that you have now. You need to take it. If you fail to take it now, you will find torchlight during the day in search of this opportunity, you will not see it. I said, I don't have money. How can I pay all these taxes they are charging? He said, I'll pay. Mr. Speaker, you gave me everything. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Mr. Speaker, I will zero in also to Rex Bonafa and Chairman BD. These are household names in the SLPP. These are offices that we don't need to ask somebody that we want to see them. We always go to their offices as if they are our places, and indeed they are our places. Mr. Speaker, I will swiftly go to...
Bonafa was a permanent fixture here. He was always representing the substantive minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Chairman Bindi, try to locate your home. You are from Falaba district, Bindi to be specific. Your ancestors are from there. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I presume Ms. Fufana is going to the Ministry of Works.
Mr. Speaker,
This is the Deputy Minister designate.
Mr. Speaker, point of order. Except the only want to tell us that the document that we are presented to us from Honorable Bonafa are not correct, because it was because it was not Faraba. So we want to recheck his document. Thank you.
Thank you for that observation, Chief Whip. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Minister designate for Works. I might not know you in person, but I want to remind you about the Falaba Road. Falaba is close to the President's heart. Every time he speaks about Falaba. We want to see it in action now. The road is in progress. We want you to go there and support the minister, monitor the progress of that road. That is one of the things we need. To the Minister designate for Agriculture.
Hold on, is that the only road we are advocating?
It's not the only road. We can also advocate for the road leading to Kamakwe Binti, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Minister designate for Agriculture. I want to remind you about Musaya Compound, the background of Musaya Compound, the history, you know. Musaya Compound used to house our livestock of this country. I want you to revive Musaya Compound. If you do, it will do us good. Musaya Compound is located in my constituency, very close to Kabbalah.
How many cows are there?
It is yes, it used to be my constituency, sir. Mr. Bayo, for sport, we want to see the school league reintroduced. I was with the minister designate, Chief Minister David Senge in Qatar, Doha. He was all over the place advocating for sport. And that is the correct ministry I think he has been given as the Chief Minister. Because he was advocating for Yuri Jokef to come to Sierra Leone to see how he can support our school-going kids. That is where we can identify talents to support our national team. Sport is something that can unite people. It is something that can distract people from all form of violence. So I encourage you to go there and support the minister to see how we can get this rolled out down to schools. Mr. Speaker, with that, I go straight to my friend, a brother. Yes, Mr. Speaker, Dr. David Moyena Senge. Mr. Speaker, he has been a friend and a brother. Mr. Speaker, the name David Moina Senge is synonymous to progress. He's a young, talented man. I first watched him on TV when he asked Barack Obama that he has been called by the President of the Republic of Sierra Leone to come and serve as the Chief Innovation Officer. Barack Obama said, well, I think the President have made a good choice. And you have to honor that invitation. Go and serve your country. Go and make your country proud. And today you've done that. You've not only made your parents proud to have you, you've made us proud as Sierra Leoneans. Continue to do that. You've saved this state billions of leons in the name of scratch card. It used to be a body. I am proud to be associated with you. People used to call me to congratulate me for your nomination. I said, thank you. It is good to be associated with progressive people, Mr. Speaker. I am so proud to have you, Mr. Speaker, as one of my people that came from Bindi to establish Binti. Your grandpa is from, your forefathers are from Bindi.
The name of your town was misspelled.
Mr.
Correct spelling is Binti. I exported the name over to Bindi.
To Madam Mamusu, you're a hard-working woman. We have challenges. There are issues in the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, with specific reference to WAEC, challenging the number of candidates that government used to send for the WASC exams. These are issues that we need to address. That is the government flagship program. We need to ensure they accommodate the number of candidates we are sending. So I'll be looking forward to working with you, if it pleases this House, to give me the committee again. Mr. Speaker, with having said this, agriculture, to the agriculture minister again, Mr. Speaker, I'm making suggestions as a representative of the people of Sierra Leone. Mr. Speaker, we need to have the military having their farms. Their farm, so they will grow what they eat. The police as well, the prisons. This is where huge chunks of money are going from the government coffer. And you know what? You face stiff resistance from a cartel. What is this cartel? The suppliers and those who give these contracts. They will fight you with their last breath. They will not want this to come to light, to stop you from buying rice from them. And those that are awarding the contract, they will not want this to stop, because that is where their kickbacks will be coming. If you attempt doing that, you will be doing justice to Sierra Leone, but they will see themselves as you are doing justice to them, injustice to them, so they will fight you. But if you implement these policies, I think the agenda for the president for this second 5 years, by 2028, I will be sitting in my village in Bindi to just call the people and say, if you believe the SLPP can do it, vote for SLPP. They will vote and need not to go to all the communities. To Madam Uri, the family have made a name. There is a legacy you need to protect. Professor Alpha Uri and others have done extremely well in this country for Minty. What you need to we know him to be Sababu, because Alpha Uri is Sababu. That's what we used to call him. My village is above 300 years old. He is the first person to construct a school for us. That school is serving thousands of kids. So you need to protect that name. When you go to the ministry, ensure you continue in that line. You can seek guidance from the... I just want to disagree with you when you said the wise come from the east. The wise can come from the north too. You are a wise man. The people from Bindi and Binti and Valaba, wise people, Mr. Speaker. These are wise people.
SO2 Bella.
With that, Mr. Speaker, Madam Uri will be coming to your ministry. We want to benefit from the technical institute that are being built and those that are to be built. So Falaba will benefit. To all the nominees, I congratulate you. I wish you well in your offices. Treat courteously. If not, that is where I will stop.
Several sit down. You two, in green, sit down. I'll give the floor to the honorable member next. Who went to yesterday? No. Check the list. Let's not argue about it. Mr. Speaker, remember my chairman is here. Oh, Mr. Speaker, check that list. Give the mic to the honorable member.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. This is my maiden speech for the 6th Parliament, and I want to toe the line with other colleagues who've praised, who've admonished all the nominees. But I want to personally congratulate former ministers and appointees who made their way back after the tsunami. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, when the waters took over in the State House, or at the State House, us as MPs, everybody, was worried. Wow. Because we have friends, we have brothers, who were at the State House there working. But one exception I want to take, with regards those who survived and those who did not, that His Excellency did not tell anybody or anyone that it was because of performance or underperformance that the other ministers did not come back. That is the beauty of the presidency. He hires and fires. That's the bottom line. In as much as we want to congratulate you, especially the young folks, the young people, we believe in you as His Excellency has done. There are also other jurisdictions that also believes in the older folks. So it is the prerogative of His Excellency to appoint whatever category, whatever level of people. Maybe I was zooming so few people, because almost all the former ministers and appointees have crossed paths with, definitely. Either ways. Of course, the Chief Minister, Mabusu, Dr. Taylor, almost Nabikogra, of course, somebody I've known for some time now. When I worked at, when I was in the NGO world, when I worked in Poloko, this was somebody who has passion for education. I worked with her. She has schools, secondary, primary. So that was how, in fact, when I was in one of the agencies, we crowned her as one of the women champions before getting this position. So her appointment by HA in the 5th and in the previous government was not a surprise. You are a hard-working woman. You are a woman champion. All the women, let me join colleagues to congratulate you. I'm a gender person. Of course, my colleague, who was my former advisor in the gender team, is here. So that gives me the kind of passion I have for the women, especially yesteryears. The time we have taken to bring this gender stuff to this level. We initiated it, of course. We've been part of it. And today, His Excellency has passion and has confidence in the women. Congratulations to you all. Of course, I want to zoom in. Of course, my brother, my SFP brother, Chairman Bindi. He's a colleague, he's a brother from Bo. This is not our praises that we are lavishing on people, but I've been given to Caesar what is Caesar's. These young men and women have proven beyond any doubts. I think on that note, it was on that note that His Excellency has nominated them to be approved by Parliament. And in few moments, I will urge and plead with colleagues that we approve you all.
Without much ado, I want to say congratulations in advance. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members. On behalf of the people of Freetown District,
Wait until we elect you speaker.
Pardon me, Mr. Speaker.
Not this time. I know very much. No, I will come to the front there.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, please take your seats. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank His Excellency for giving us persons of high intellect with vast experience. He carefully took into consideration in making this appointment age, gender, ethnicity, and above all, competence. I won't toe the line of praise singing here. It's just a few words of advice. As you've been chosen to serve this country, there is no doubt that you are going to add value to governance. You have to embrace excellence as a national standard. You have to work as a team, because it is that team that will lead this country to prosperity. I surely believe that there are so many people, but he struggled to make the choice of this few here. The expectation is high, especially from our constituents. The rest of the electorate will select me. But I believe that when you work as a team, under this new direction, in this new area of responsibility, we'll be able to succeed. I want to zoom into the Chief Minister. In this time, you possess style and substance. Style and substance goes a long way in the current politics. You gave inspiration to the young people. 10, 15, 20 years ago, it will be very, very strange for you to see a chief minister with a loving dreadlocks as we have in the current chief minister. We're changing the narrative here. You don't judge the person by the looks. He's got the celebrity status, but again, the professional looks. He can't deliver. For a country to succeed, you have to eliminate the poverty of data. Is a data-driven person? Because when you have the information, you'll be in a better position to make development decisions. That's what he's bringing in. Mr. Chief Minister, some time back I worked in government, there was something they called the performance tracking team, the PTT. I don't know whether it still exists. It helps to track the performance of various government ministries. And I think for your setup right now, performance should be the buzzword. My final advice here, a major requirement for you to succeed in your position is how you marry policy and politics. You're all professionals. You've delivered before, and I believe you can do it again. But policy is just government's direction. But you need the political skills to ensure that this government direction goes the right way. That's the combination. It's very difficult for our constituents to understand that. but you have to be steadfast, resilient in your action. Mr. Chief Minister, the expectations are high. Provide the guidance for the ministers not to overpromise and underperform. Because sometimes the expectations will force them to say things that they can't do. But I think with guidance, they'll be able to do the right thing. It will be very difficult for me to zoom into everybody. But my sister from Falaba, and I'm sierraleone, we worked closely during the implementation of the Gary Act. You're a true champion. I believe you will continue to go. Dr. Taylor, energy, there's still a long way to go. But you've been here before with good energy policies. We want to see more of you on behalf of the minister. My brother from Kenya, Mr. Lansamana, before the end of the 5th Parliament, we passed 3 good labor laws. I think you are there to continue the institutional memory. Work closely with all that you're supposed to work with. Mr. Rex Bonafa, it's just a matter of encouraging you to continue the good work, most of you. Mr. Bindi, they said, of course, my boss, Kokoto Amarasoa. Manners make it man. We have the good values, hard work, and discipline will continue to see you through. At this juncture, I want to thank all of you for giving me your attention. And Mr. Speaker, I also took opportunity to congratulate you the other day. I spoke about style and substance when referring to Dr. Semi. I'm sure you've been that symbol, that icon of style and substance. Keep me inspired. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
I thank the honorable member for his contribution. Now, very soon, I'm going to give the floor to the front liners so we can conclude this debate. But lest it be assumed that when you occupy a seat at the very back, you are disadvantaged. And like the Chief Minister designate, I want to see myself also as a champion of radical inclusion. So I'll give the floor now to the ladies who geography seems to have hidden away from the limelight by being at the very back. So I'll bring you forward when lighted. And I'll give the floor to Madam Mariama Elagoba. Good.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mariama Elagoba, representing Kenema District. So the nominees, this is a sacred assignment, and the fate of our nation is entrusted in your hands. And so, you have to take it in mercy and wisdom. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, so the nominees, the task is so huge, yet His Excellency the President entrusted so much in your ability, the confidence in your abilities for doing the duties. And so, you have to take this particularly for our party, and so do the work for our generation and for all of us. So the nominees, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I entreat you to take this all diligently in your duties, kindly serve us well, forget that. So who much is given, much is expected. I thank you all.
Honorable lady, brevity is indeed the soul of wit. She did not even spend the 3 minutes. I wish the rest of you would follow a brilliant example.
Very well.
I'll now give the floor, considering the number of Pujamu nominees among the designated chief lobbies. I'll now give the floor to the honorable from Pujamu, Awakano.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Speaker of the House. I also take this opportunity to say thank you for giving me the privilege to talk in this way for the first time. I did not have the privilege to congratulate you then, so I want to use it now. Congratulations, sir. I want to say thank you to all the nominees who have accepted to work with this government. I want to say special thanks to the women. But before I come to address the women, let me zoom some people that I know and have worked with personally. I want to zoom out Mr. Alfred Moy Jamiru. Mr. Alfred Moy Jamiru, I worked with him in the US for over 10 years when he was chairman of the Segloma Federation in the United States. Segloma is a non-profit organization, and he did diligence work, and we did a good job there with him. So thank you, and I know President did not make any mistake. I want to say, zoom out our wife, Mrs. Tunis, Pujan Finance. Thank you. Hard work always pays. That's why you are here again. So continue to make us proud from Pujan. Our own son, Dr. Senge. I first met Dr. Senge when he was studying at MIT in Boston. Very humble, very respectful, and I'm not surprised that he's here. Continue the good job. So the women, we are all here today because of the GUI bill. And President Bill was very wise to make sure that he put it into practice. Our being here should not be taken as a destination. Let us take this as a travel. This is not our destination. This is still, we are still working, hard work, and wherever we go, with our hard work, we will be paving way for the other women who will be following us. Yes. So I just want to say thank you. Let us continue the good job, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say, congratulations, and thank you all. On that note.
I thank the Honorable Lady for her contribution. Let me now recognize the Honorable Gentleman to my right. And after him, I will give the floor to the Honorable Amara Kago. Is he here? Good. Western Mura.
Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of the people of Pujan District, the Wanyama people, to register our thanks and appreciation to His Excellency the President for two reasons. One, of course, for appointing those eminent sons and daughters of this country in general and in particular from Pujan District. Secondly, for being constitutional compliant vis-a-vis in line with Section 56 of the Constitution, which states that there shall be, in addition to the office of the Vice President, such offices as ministers and deputy ministers, as may be consulted by the President, of course. So they should take that into consideration, that indeed your appointment is within the confinement of that section. But take note of section 61, which speaks about the concept of collective responsibility, that you are being responsible to Parliament. You should take note of that. And I'm happy that you'll be having induction ceremony on Monday. It is good that, at least, particularly for newcomers, at least let us indulge them on some salient constitutional clauses, so that at least when even rising up to talk on behalf of those ministers or those appointees, you should always remind them about that. Now, I want to do justice to all of them. Therefore, I will advise myself not to at least speak particularly on individual ministers. But since they have their boss here, who serves as a repository of all power of the state, and then he's serving as a oasis and catalyst of the performance of this government, I think you should know that person now. The repository of all power of the state. That is the chief minister. Repository is the repository of all power of the state. Everywhere in this country, the chief minister. Everywhere in the world. So since the chief minister is here, I will narrow my praise on the chief minister. The chief minister, the president made no mistake to have you reappointed, particularly in that office. But I will give you a piece of advice. Please, you ensure that, because you will be assessing, you will be tracking the performance of all of the ministers and deputy ministers. We would like to see, I have no doubt in my mind that you are competent to do that, to set up a very good database so that it will be very useful to parliamentarians within the stream of carrying out our oversight functions on those ministries, so that we could be able to track down their progress report. If we do have those data that will guide us, we'll be in the position at least to be able to assess them. So I entrust that into you, and I have no doubt that you have the capability to do that. Then the people of Leone district are very proud of you, of course. Make no mistake about that. And I'm happy your father and your mother, who happens to be my sister, they are all here today. They are very much proud of you. Our wife, the wife of the ECOWAS speaker, Nabila Tunis, I will speak to her particularly on this. I have worked with her, and we have engaged in carrying out a series of consultancy services, particularly on the mining sector. I have no doubt in your capability. But the position that you have occupied, I charge you not to only limit it to the western area. Please extend the tourism attraction also to the provinces. For example, like within the jurisdiction of your husband, Suleiman. That's a very touristic attractive area. And also Lake Magesi in my area within Leone district. So I hope you will extend that also to Leone district. For the transport ministry, you are a friend of this parliament, of course. We know what you did during the fifth parliament. You have worked very hard. So you, President may no mistake to have reappointed you. But I want to make a plea to you. Please ensure that we now enjoy the bus services in Leone. Can you imagine we don't have bus in Leone? Up to this point, the bus services. So please, make sure that you at least assign one bus or two to Leone district. Please. And of course, we have the deputy minister here. But before I go to you, I think your boss is here also, the Minister of Agriculture. Who happens to be the son of Leone district. But the interesting thing about Dr. Baka, he hears from so many districts too, not only Leone, but Leone particularly. So, Dr. Baka, we hope that you neutralize the agricultural sector. You understand what I mean? Militarization of the agricultural sector. Please, when we engage the military in the agricultural activities of this country, mechanized farming, I'm not talking about subsistence farming, but mechanized farming, that will help you a lot. It will help this country. It will boost the economy of this country. So I hope you focus your attention to that in terms of developing, articulating policy that will include the militarization of the agricultural sector. And I think we have another son here, Mr. Sowa, who happens to be the deputy permanent representative in the UN. Congratulations to you also. And to Dr. Edward Taylor, I was the deputy chairman in the energy sector. You contributed a lot to the rural electrification, and happen to be one beneficiary. So we register our thanks and appreciation to you. So without few remarks, I want to urge you all to speedily approve the appointment of those eminent and well qualified sons and daughters of this country. They are all qualified. They all possess the capability. So I thank you also.
I thank the honorable member for his contribution. Let me now give the floor to the honorable Amaraka.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I would like you to allow me to call on Dr. Elietunde Taylor, designated Deputy Minister of Energy. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, Dr. Taylor, please stand up. Mr. Speaker, please allow me to correct some historical wrongs. For far too long, everything concerning the SLPP. Let me also make reference to my colleague Honorable Uyata Songa. Last week, she made mention of it that there are 3 lions. We have troops from the east, Mr. Mohammed Ali from the south, Honorable Abu from the north. What about the western area? Let me introduce to you our own imagined lion, Dr. Elietunde Taylor. Backing up with the results, Dr. Taylor here faced, fought, and conquered the APC, not only from their backyard, in front of their face, backed by results from Western Rural. We fought with them toe head on, sharing the 10 seats equally. It was not a mean feat. Come to think of, from Bombali district, with the SNPP, all our votes there didn't even account to a single seat. Come to think of the achievements we made. Talking of short gains cannot be overemphasized. Dr. Taylor, once more, I bring you warm greetings from the people of the Western rural communities. To be specific, the Togo community. They send warm greetings for the rural electrification project. We thank you so much, as we are expecting a speedy completion of the rural project. Thank you. Please also allow me to zoom in to Mrs. Haja Aisata Abdullah. Of course, I'm not only a resident of Togo. I was given birth and raised from a typical fishing home. I'm proud to say I'm a fisherman. And I've spent most of my life around fishing activities. I was also privileged to work at the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, which means you are going into my ministry. You will be facing the persistent persistent and recurrent challenges of the illegal and unreported fishing activities. These have served as a thorn, and more of the leakages forcing the government to waste most of the finances that should have been used in other sectors. Please take note of this, especially the artisanal sectors. They are really experiencing serious challenges. So Mrs. Nabila Tunis, going into the tourism sector, of course, I don't like to say you are taking up this job in the most challenging circumstances, because most of our beaches have been flooded with seaweed. And trust me, for most of us living along those seaside communities, that's a horrible picture. For far too long, all our energies have just been focused on clearing the seaweeds. How about we transform those seaweed for medicinal use? At least it will also create another job opportunity for most of our unemployed youths out there. And also to the designate Mrs. Christiana Queen of Works. Trust me, one of the very reasons that most of our fishes have not been accepted with regards to the European standard is because most of the roads leading to most of these our beaches are bad roads. They are really challenged. And as far as I'm concerned, the Center for Artisanal Fishing Activities for Sierra Leone have been the Tumbo community. It will actually sadden you to know that the main route heading to the Tumbo WAF, which is the WAF road, is not healthy. Please make it a priority to construct that Tumbo WAF road leading to the main beach hosting majority of the artisanal fishing sector. And also to Mr. Ibrahim Sano, going into the communication ministry. Trust me, one of the major challenges most of our students face is with regards to the data tariff communication problem. Please, Mr. Sano, I know you very well. Please, how about you discuss with your board to at least talk with most of these telecommunication companies to bring back our weekly free calls, our weekend free calls. At least this will help most of us from recalling most of the missed calls. Please, Mr. Sano, and also the data tariff. And one more thing, our biggest problem these governments have been facing is the communication gap between we the citizens and the government. I believe you will try and make a way to at least bridge that gap.
Thank you on that note.
On that note, I wish all of you the best, just as my leader have spoken, that you have a big tax. And one of our major problems for this country have never been education. It's about transforming our educational certificates into the practical world. I wish you all the best, and I know you will surely succeed. God bless us all.
I thank the honorable member from Western Rural. I can take.
A commissioner is up.
Let me ask you a question. All of you in that segment, is there any member who has not made his or her maiden speech.
Mr. Speaker, that's the requirement.
Okay, I've been advised there are only two. And of the two, I can only take one. And that one has to be a lady.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much for appointing me now. I wonder how I would have felt if I don't talk again today. So I say thank you. This is my first time talking, yes. I want to thank you, Honorable Mr. Speaker and Honorable members, for giving me this opportunity to talk for the first time. I want to thank the President in his wisdom. My name is Juliana Alimatu Fatoma, coming from Kenema District, Far East. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I came from a chiefdom, a locked-in chiefdom, a chiefdom that was locked in by Lower Bamara, Kono, Yahweh chiefdom, and Nongowa chiefdom. The chiefdom has a paramount chief that is well known, but the chiefdom is hidden. That is the Malagon chiefdom. Malagon, I want to talk to the Minister of Agriculture. Malagon knows nothing except agriculture. But the problem we are having, and I think you can gap that by intertwining with the Minister of Works, we have a very poor network, a road network. In fact, it is a dead trap. We only hope that you people will pay attention to that chiefdom. If really been paid attention to, you will succeed in agriculture. Because all they know is agriculture and SLPP. That is all they know. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I want to thank the President for giving us good, healthy, energetic ladies and gentlemen as ministers. I really want to zoom in on the youth. People have been advising the youth to work diligently so that the youth of Sierra Leone will compete. But I want to assure you people that when you give a job to a youth to do, this youth is going to do his or her best, because the youth are people who want to be popular. They want to do hard work to be seen. They want to do the right thing so that people will commend them. And I know the youths in these ministries are going to do the best. I want to say something about the ministers and the parliament. I think if we work and complement each other's effort, this country will work diligently. I cannot see a world like this that do not have even a solar panel. When light goes off, we are in the dark for 3 minutes.
No. Let me correct that.
Okay. We have now. Then thank you for that, Mr.
When you go out of this building today, go to the forecourt as if you're walking towards the ACC building, the anti-corruption building. They came and stole part of our land. They are trespassing into our territory. But you will see the newly constructed solar panels all over the place. So we are forward thinking, madam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to zoom in on Dr. David Senge. I know Dr. David Senge for one thing. When David Senge meets you sitting on the floor, he will sit there. When he meets you eating even porridge, he will eat with you. That is the man I know. And I believe with that kind of attitude, he can walk anywhere and with anybody. And I know he is going to do his best for this country again. And I thank you, Dr. Senge. I want to talk to the communication minister. You people have tried a lot. Communication is going on in Sierra Leone. But when I see my community without communication poles, and they struggle a lot, some of them go up the hill to communicate with their people, it is really saddening. I really want you to look at some areas and give them poles so that communication will go on. I want to talk to the Minister of Works again. Minister of Works, you people have done very well, but I see you did more of big roads than feather roads. Look at the feather roads this time. Some people are struggling alone, and this is why agriculture is still lacking behind. Some people, you cannot carry a whole chunk of goods on your head to access the market. But if there are roads that can go to these communities, I think we'll be having enough to eat, enough and to spare. So I want you people to look into that. I also want to talk to the Minister of Fisheries. We don't want, maybe that is still helpful for us, but all the fishes going out and we struggle in Sierra Leone. Because most times the fishes are so expensive and it's even hard to see. So please use your good office and make sure that we have more fishes in Sierra Leone. We cannot feed people while we can feed ourselves. So let's have some fish left for us. I want to thank you all for listening to me. And please, Mr. Minister of Works, don't forget Leone Chiefdom. Agriculture is ongoing there, and we need good roads to bring our goods out, because most times we are having bike accidents. Okay, we can take it to Gadon. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I thank the Honorable Lady for her contribution. Now we're going to wind up. If this time you've not been fortunate to catch my eye, not to worry, there is still plenty of time ahead. I'm more concerned about members who have yet to make their maiden speech. I promise you next time. Let me give the floor now to the Chief Whip, followed by the Deputy Leader, and then the Honorable Mohammed Bangura. In that order.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, immediately after the elections, I was wondering if or how best we can win the 2028 elections. But Mr. Speaker, after the pronouncement of the cabinet list, I now know that we already have 30% in the bank for the 2028 elections. With the appointment of Dr. David Senge as Chief Minister, when he was at the Ministry of Education, I believe 80% of our elections campaign were geared towards the Ministry of Education. And I can say 40% of our vote was because of his achievements in the Ministry of Education. And I'm challenging him, I'm also challenging this House, that with him as Chief Minister, the 2028 election is won already. Dr. Senge, I believe
Your appointment was deliberate. Not only deliberate, but you are carefully educated and carefully mannered. I want to say thank you to Uncle Paul Senge for bringing you up in the manner in which you are now an asset to this country. I have no inkling of doubt that you will not work assiduously to making sure that President Bios gets his agenda going. I know your commitment to this nation. I know you are a fervent committer, a very good team player. I believe you are up to the task. And I believe even Mr. Speaker has no inkling of doubt that you can work the miracle for us to work as a team in this country. Mr. Speaker, let me also briefly talk about the newly appointed Minister of Agriculture. Mr. Speaker, ladies, honorable members, when you look at the architecture of this cabinet sitting here, you know exactly where President Bios is taking us. He's taking us to a very different level, which a lot of Sierraleoneans are not expecting. If by today, or even before the announcement of this result, nobody would have guessed if the type of young men and young women we're having today in cabinet will be there. And I'm pretty sure one person that will admire President Madabi very much is a speaker, our speaker today, because in his 8 days in governance, I'm not sure if they had so much young men and women in their cabinet. Mr. Speaker, members, I want to tell that Sierra is moving in different direction. And I can tell you for free that this is just the new direction cabinet. Before election, we have the SLP cabinet. This is a proper cabinet. We have the SLP cabinet that will take us to 2028 election and make sure the SLP comes into proper. Mr. Minister of Agriculture, you have as part of one of the big five is agriculture, fits to Leone. And please, I want you to prioritize agriculture in the sense that you have to make sure that the tractors are distributed evenly. Well, not only evenly, but make sure, I want you to do a sweat sample. Because tractors were sent to some districts that are not rice producing districts. I can tell that for free. And when they talk about feeds alone, we're not only talking about rice. Let's have a sweat sample in every district, which crop they can produce in that district better.
What about cattle?
All involved. So we know when you talk to Mr. Speaker, you will tell us better, because you know where we can rear cows properly. Mr. Minister of Agriculture, please get your team to do soil sampling. We don't need to send tractor to districts that they cannot produce rice better. There are some districts that can produce cassava, potato, not only rice. On behalf of the people of Pujon, I want to say thank you to His Excellency the President, and also thank you to our leader of government business for making sure that those fine gentlemen and ladies from Pujon will pass through this house. Madam Dr. Fatma Tawuri, I'm sure it is no mistake that today you are going to serve in the Ministry of Education. Ramatulai, sorry. I believe your grandfather was Minister of Education in the same SLP government. And Dr. Alfawi has been the longest serving Minister of Education in the history of this country. I don't know if the Wuris were actually born to manage the education ministry in this country. But I want you to know that a legacy has been set. Maybe you are not going to represent you as a person. You are going to represent the family you are coming from. They have set the base in this country, and that's exactly what I want you to follow. Tomorrow, we want people to say yes, President Bios did not make no mistake in appointing you as Minister of Education. Because when some of your names were mentioned, people start wondering, where are those names coming from? Where are they been? But when I looked at your CV, I said she was somewhere preparing for today.
and today is here. Please make the Wuri family proud, make the Binti people proud, make Dr. Abbas people proud. It is often said that the reward for hard work is small work. Today, because of hard work, we have Phyllis here and Madam Queen. I believe your appointment is because of what you've been doing for this country, and I don't want you to relax because you've now got what you want. I want you to put in more work. The man going to the UN, you are going to the UN at a time when you don't need UN most, or when we need our international recognition to double. You have never disappointed us in this country, and I believe you will not start. Please go there and make us proud. Madam Musuma Sako, if anybody say you are a hard worker, that's tautology. Because the name Musuma Sako is very synonymous to progress. Please make us proud. You are carrying a name of a queen, and that name should be protected. Oh, Mr. Speaker, you might not know, but when we talk about Masakwe Kingdom, that's the only kingdom in this country called kingdom. And when you are coming from that kingdom, you should work hard to protect our image and to make us proud. Mr. Bini, the Danfo driver, I know you work in that ministry. Of course, you are a gender activist. I know you to be a gender activist. You've been working for women for far too long. So please, I want you to go and work with your minister. You know, what we need right now is our teamwork, because you are a team. Mr. Speaker, I will fail in my duty if I fail to mention the wife of my own elder brother. That's the Nabila's Tunis. Nabila Sidi Tunis. Madam Nabila, you are carefully guided. And I'm sure if you succeed in that ministry, then we in Pujon have succeeded. Yes. So, Madam Nabila, please make sure the Minister of Tourism becomes an envy in West Africa. But one thing I want you to introduce is what we call, apart from having sustainable tourism, let us start experiencing package holidays. You can say this week we are going to Kenema, or we are going to go, we are going to Pujon. Let's have buses that we can have sightseeing. Let people start going out. Because every day the same chairs, the same bed, the same furniture in your house, you get tired. Let's have an opportunity where we will start taking package holiday. You just pay something like 1 million. In that 1 million or 2 million, you have your hotel rent, you have your 1 week food and everything. You go and come back in the weekends. I believe Dr. Moina Senge will want to have that experience. And even Rebecca will want to have that experience. So go and see the beautiful Wanjama women. Madam Mati, I said in this well when you were first appointed that you will not disappoint us, because you are coming from a family and the father particularly was very disciplined. No, she will not disappoint us. So, Mr. Speaker, on that note, let me congratulate all the other appointees that I did not call. The Deputy Minister going to Trade, the Deputy Minister going to Tourism. I mean, she's a fantastic lady. And I believe working with Nabila Tuni, she will enjoy working with the minister. When those two are put together, Mr. Speaker, I will promise, I will bet my bottom dollar that Sierraleone is going to be champion of tourism in the South region. I thank you very much.
Honorable member, I had down not you, not yet. No, where is Quinty?
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
Well, let the message reach him that he abandoned sheep. Much too early. I give the floor to Deputy Leader too.
Thank you very, very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, at a glance, if one watches the nominees, one will be tempted to say President Mahmoud Bill is a sorcerer. A sorcerer because he looked out for the best breeds, quality breeds from the east, west, north of Sierra Leone, and he will bring them to the fore to show their expertise. Mr. Speaker, we are told from history that before 1961, this house was called House of Representatives. And in 1961, Parliament. We are told that Sir Milton was Chief Minister, the position Dr. David Senge Manina is taking today. And Sir Milton saddled the ship of leadership in quietness, in oneness and development. True and true, 1964, the bad news came, I read letter day. That's the message. Nominees, presidential nominees, I urge you to look forward to the Chief Minister. He's going to serve as a coach. He's going to serve as a leader to lead the way when it appears that governance will be difficult to go forward. Look to him. Listen to him and learn from him. That's the key powerful L. Look, listen, learn from him, the Chief Minister. What does Parliament expect from the Chief Minister? Mr. Speaker, Parliament expects a PTT, performance tracking table. And this is how I want to design our oversight role. Section 93, 3 and 6 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone tells us that we are going to play this oversight, one of our traditional rules. We are not only going to make good and workable laws here, we are not only going to represent our people. I'm representing when they come, when they fair, and welfare section in Colombia Street, like all of the other MPs. We are not only going to scrutinize the annual budget and approve it. We are not only going to promote the peace and national cohesion this nation still needs. Mr. Manina Senge, Parliament expects a PTT, performance tracking table, with the trackers. We want to see a nexus between the 5 big changers and those performance trackers. Serving as a coach, you call a minister at a click of a button to evaluate. The exams you set for yourself, let them set exam for themselves. As we move on quarterly, you watch at it. So Parliament will play oversight role, as well as the Chief Minister also playing oversight role. Let us see a nexus with the 5 big changers vis-a-vis. Fit Sierra Leone, Dr. Mac. I don't know whether it's a coincidence. The 3 ministers actually want to zoom out. They are sitting very closely. Set the stage, feed the people. How do you feed the people? Is it through animal husbandry? Is it through cash crop production? Is it through inland valley swamp? For the records, Tobago is harvesting 100 hectares of rice now, for the records. And they are about to do another 4,000 for the records. But you have to challenge the road. You have to follow up with Larry, Agriculture Minister. Mr. Speaker, honourable members, David Senge, I hold a belief that you do well. I campaign on your legacy. I told first-time voters, 18 years or under, that the headache, the agonizing appeals that you used to have on the scratch card, buying scratch card, 1 week, 2 weeks, following up your results, Dr. Senge Manina has ended it. And I campaign on that. With ease. And the first-time voters, they came out in their numbers and they voted for President Mahmoud. That's the legacy. Scratch card. What are you going to do? Dr. Senge, want to see how? Then how they apply to Parliament, to the President and Vice President, and to you. At a click, want to see a ministry that will perform best. That's the message, Dr. Senge. I know that you are going to bring up performance tracking tables, matrices, and the ministers are going to work up to do well. Nominees,
I apologize in anticipation because I actually don't have the time to look at all of you. But I will look at a man called Kyle Bayo. Why am I bringing Kyle Bayo, Deputy Minister of Sports? We are told, and it is even a conventional language, that when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. When health is lost, something is lost. But when integrity is lost, all is lost. That's the man that has an unquestionable integrity. Money will not buy us. Mr. Speaker, a sad story I will tell you. It came at a time when I was serving as a mayor. All of the APC councillors, they abandoned me. There was APC councillor. He stood his ground. So no matter what, we were intimidated, but we stood for our people in Colorado Street. The man went to jail in rapidity, going, coming. At the time he asked, he said, no, I would prefer to remain there now. Why are you releasing me? You don't release me, I'm here now. That's the man. He stood and gave President Malabio his word in 2018 runoff. And that's the man. He served as a vanguard of Corona campaign in 2018. He served as a vanguard of Corona campaign in 2023. They looked at crime in Corona Street. And that's the trust he has built over the years. Today, he's serving in his second in as Deputy Minister of Sport. Kudos to you, Kyle Bayo. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, we also campaigned on education for the records of the Wuris. You not try education in this country if you attempt to erase the name of the Wuris. She has an enviable CV. When I looked at her publications, 50 publications. Can you imagine? 50 publications. A woman making that publication. I was still battling with just 3 publications in a PhD research. Mr. Speaker, we campaigned on Cornell to have a university. That's the campaign. For the record, Cornell got its first school in 1910, Germany, called primary school. After 112 years, President Malabio corrected that historical injustice against the people of Cornell. Your predecessor did well. Your predecessor is on record of laying one of the foundation stones for the building of that university. Your predecessor was so passionate to see that university built up. That's the ground you are taking. If you join up with President Malabio with rapid complaint at cabinet, I am to tell you that President Malabio not only have roots, but have forests in Colorado Street. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, how can I see it if I fail to acknowledge the pilots of the rebuild? Many women are here today. You are going to praise President Malabio for being a male champion of the rebuild. But look at the pilot. That's the pilot. She deserves a standing ovation. That's the pilot of the rebuild. Mr. Speaker, with all this good news that we've heard from our youth, unfortunately, however, Section 41C of the Constitution is saying until they are 40 years before you become president. And I'm telling you, if there will be a referendum, we are going to launch a massive campaign against Section 41C. Dr. Denisenge is not 40. You have to Dibani. Today in Nigeria, in the General Assembly, they have ratified a bill called Not Too Young to Run. Not Too Young to Run. Removing the bottleneck and the checkpoint before young people to perform. So you see, you are denying Dr. Senga to the current 40 years. Yes, you have the capacity. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, nominees, I congratulate you all in advance. I know you are going to perform. Especially Phyllis Kapu has been a diligent. One will call the night my solution. Philip will say, look at me here. Oh yes, I made the appointment. How can I forget Mrs. Navila Tonis, who has served as a face internationally of this country in the Office of Foreign Ministry. Today she's coming. To Tourism Ministry, Mrs. Navila Tonis has been beckoned by Mr. Speaker to run up. There is a place called Captain Lendy's Legacy at Waima, Korodi Street. That's a legacy for 5 touristic center. You can win the French money as well as the British government money. Captain Lendy, the French, they almost claim Korodi Street as Guinea. Captain Nandi Fort today, like a mass grave in Korodi Street, Boima. That could be a fine touristic center if you get money from the British government as well as the French government. That is a fine assignment for you, and I know you are going to surmount this huge ill. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. It is on this note, I call on all members, traditional authorities, women, to speedily ratify these fine nominees so that they can go to work in peace. Thank you very much.
And the last speaker on my list is the honorable member from Daru.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. At this point, I want to thank Mr. President for giving us a very fine team to take us through to 2028. I will not spend more time praising people here, but rather I will try to admonish all nominees, and for those who deserve to be praised, that we have to do. And at this point, I want to say this is a golden opportunity to all of you seated on the other side. Don't take it as a case that we are the best. We always have the best people. In the 5th Parliament, when we had the nominees, we thought those people were the best. But now, looking at this team, if grammar can allow, this is the best. And at this point, I just want to admonish all of us taking up new offices. And for those who have been there before, I still encourage you to press on. Yesterday, as in last time, we had so many people who were here for nominations or to be approved. But today they are not here. What removed them, we can't tell. Only Almighty God and the President. But one thing I know the President for is somebody who believes in performance. Is somebody who believes in performance. So if you know you are a performer, then you have nothing to fear. You always be kept in that office, or you always be given bigger offices. And I realized most of the deputy ministers were sustained. So I don't know what the secret is. But it appears to me all of the deputy ministers, most of them, are still on board. Kudos to you guys. But again, Mr. Chief Minister, sir, I believe you have not been nominated for this position by mistake. It's because of performance. So I see you as a captain of this team. And as a captain, you have to help the coach to devise strategies so that we win the match. And the match we want to win as a party is the 2028 elections. That is what we need. And we believe in you, we depend on you to devise strategies, to help the ministers, to help the deputy minister, to help executive and managing directors of departments and agencies to actually make sure everybody performs at their level. In the past, what we've been experiencing in the past government, before ours, we realized there were so many infights between substantive minister and their deputies. But for us as a government to realize that is at a very minimal rate. But again, I realize most of the time, substantive ministers marginalize their deputy ministers, so more that their deputy ministers are redundant. That we may not want to see this time. Everybody has been appointed to serve, and that we must ensure. They say more hands are better than one. So we have to ensure that, and that has to be ensured by you. And again, I know for some of you, you are not politicians. For us here, we are politicians. And for those of you who have been appointed because of the knowledge you have, by default, you are not a politician. So please, your door should be open to all the politicians because we serve the communities and the people depend on us. You know, the irony with our position is that I mean, our position as honorable members is not a comfortable position. But the mystery about it is that none of us want to leave it. It's not comfortable, but we don't want to leave it. That's the mystery we cannot explain. And again, the people out there look up to us as the superheroes. They look up to us for everything. And we don't have. And for those things to happen, we need you, the executive, to make sure you take some of these amenities to the societies, to the communities. That is on the side of admonishment. But again, I realize out of the 23 nominees, I have a personal relationship with all 23. And so I know time will not permit me to talk personally for all 23. So for those that will not be able to talk on, SO2, Mubabo Malong, where? And at this point, I will just quickly use one line for everybody I will be talking on. And the first person, I will end up with the Chief Minister by all means. The first person I'll talk on is my boss, my former director, the innovator, the Iron Lady, Madam Mantintarali, who's been appointed to serve in the Vice President's office. I believe Madam Manti is an asset. I went through her, she groomed me, I worked under her department as a manager, and I tell you she's a very wonderful person on the both personal note, professional note, and everything. She's an asset to Sierra Leone. And I will tell you, you have every fun with Madam Manti, but when you miss it, when you miss the target, I mean, she has some kind of flexible leadership. And so I believe Madam Manti will do very well in that office, I have no doubt. She will close the door, she will lambast you until you do the right thing. And that is the more reason I'm very good today. Thank you, Madam Manti. And secondly, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, you know, in the 5th Parliament, somebody came here from the Ministry of Education as the...
Mr. Speaker, I think that comment needs investigation. Thank you.
And secondly, in the 5th Parliament, somebody came here who served as just a director in the Ministry of Basic Education, you know, this school feeding program, and because of her performance, the president saw the need to appoint her as deputy minister too in the Ministry of Basic Education. When she was here, I told her she was going to be our Musa Tumbo. And if today she's been sustained in that position, I believe it's not because she's so beautiful, but because of her performance. And we already know the minister, the chief minister who was then the Minister of Basic Education. He is somebody who does not associate with failure. He only associates with those people who perform. And in fact, it has become a term that when somebody is doing well, you say that somebody is singing. You know, from the word singing. You know, so I will say here, Mr. Speaker, SO2, that Madam Mamusuma Sakoi, who doubles as the president of Kirosa, I mean, is a senior person. She performs, and I have no doubt she's going to perform. And very soon, the chief minister will see the need to actually take her to another position.
On that note,
Mr. Speaker, I will talk about the number 9 of this team, who is the Minister of Agriculture. We all know the president is emphasizing of, Feed the Nation project, and that has to happen from his own ministry. But again, for the other ministries, let us know the Minister of Agriculture cannot achieve without the support of some of your ministries. If we must say we want to feed ourselves, then the energy sector must be seen performing. If we want to say the agriculture ministry must perform, enough funds must be disbursed and allocated and disbursed to the Ministry of Agriculture. If we say we must feed ourselves, then other ministries like fisheries must be seen working with the Minister of Agriculture. So, Mr. Chief Minister, sir, I believe we have a great role to play so that those ministries that we believe can work together collaboratively should be merged so that they see themselves working so that we achieve a common goal. And we all know the president is a talk and do, so there is no doubt all of us are going to support the whole process. And so finally, to conclude, Mr. Speaker, I will just say a few words about my culture and my small boy, Mr. Sano, and Koto Amara Sowa. And without leaving Dr. Tunde, I believe to a very large extent, Dr. Edre Tunde is responsible for my being here. Because it came to a time when my community was so much aggravated because we wanted light, and there was electricity in other marginalized communities. He gave me his word, and he did not fail, and he was there to ensure that it happened. So thank you very much, Dr. Jones, of the energy sector.
And with that?
And finally, to conclude, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Ibrahim Sano, Dr. Taylor, sorry. Finally, to conclude, Mr. Speaker, I can talk for all of them.
The bite of the sherry is more than enough.
Thank you very much, sir. So, as I said earlier on, Ubago Malone, so please, my Sigmites, Bebago Malone, SO2, Mr. Sano, my senior prefect from the Great Bow School, even though he was a small boy, but he served as a senior prefect. And as we already know, Bow School boys are not failures. They can always perform. And of course, my prefect, Koto Amara Sowa, he are also being respected, and everybody. And finally, Phyllis, my deputy minister, Phyllis Kapu. The ministry. Okay, sir. So, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, without wasting your time, Phyllis Kapu, I want to welcome you to the ministry, and I rest my case. And I ask that honorable members quickly ratify these 5 nominees so that they go back to their offices and commence their duties. I rest my case.
I thank all honorable members for taking the floor on this very, very important day. You will soon be approving the nominees. But I've reached a convenient and appropriate point when, before I call on the Honorable Mohammed Bangra to kickstart the winding up of the debate, I would like to announce the following caucus leaders and the membership of international delegations.
Mr. Speaker, you said announce caucus leaders.
Yes.
We should discuss that with leadership first before the caucus leaders.
I want to believe I have done that.
What leadership? The of our party. Can you please, we beg you.
Come forward, please.
Fine.
Honorable members, I will start with the leadership of the Parliamentary. The chairman of the Honorable Paramount Chiefs is Honorable P.C. Balansa Mamara. Vice Chairperson, Honorable P.C. Haja Mimakat. Secretary General, the Honorable P.C. Cyril Fore Gondo II. Assistant Secretary General, Honorable P.C. Sheku Tongos Mara III. PRO, Honorable P.C. Alawi Kande Parea Kawale II. Advisor 1, Honorable P.C. Bode Stephen Bakra Fa. Advisor 2, Honorable P.C. Alaji Masakama III. The female caucus. The leadership of the female caucus is Honorable Lele Nene Lebe. Our designation is President of the Female Caucus. And the Vice President will come from the APC party. And I wish to announce the following delegations to international parliamentary organizations. The Pan-Africa Parliament, the Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, Honorable Bashirus Liki, Deputy Leader of Delegation, Honorable P.C. Ali Balansama Mara, Member, Honorable Francis Amara Kaisamba, Member, and there will be one member from the APC party. ECOWAS Parliament. The Honorable Veronica Kadisise, Leader of Delegation. Honorable Shaka Sama, Deputy Leader. Honorable Sidi Mohamed Tunis, Member. Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina, Member. And the Honorable Mohamed Bangura. African, Caribbean, Pacific, European Union, ACP, EU Parliament. Honorable Matthew Sanyuma, Leader of Delegation. Honorable Dixon M. Rogers, Deputy Leader of Delegation. Honorable Emilia Lolo Tongi, Member. Honorable Abdul Bash Kamara, Member. And the fifth member will come from the APC party. The Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, CPA. The Right Honorable Dr. Abbas Chenobundu, Chairman. Honorable Abdul Mari Conte, Branch Representative. Honorable Nene Levy, Commonwealth Women Parliamentarians, Representative. Honorable Ami Yava Morata, Member. PC, Honorable PC by Farmatas Bubu Angbak, the fourth member. Honorable Alex Mattia Rogers, member. Honorable Mase Aruna, member. Honorable PC Alaji Masakama Kanamaka, the third member.
Mr. Speaker, before you go to the next.
Honorable Paran Umar Tarawali, Branch Secretary.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker, I didn't mean to cut you short. But time is back. We are moved to suspend S052. So the business of the House will continue. Thank you for your understanding.
Thank you. Any seconder?
I second, Mr. Speaker.
All in favor of the motion before the House, say aye. Aye. And those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The Interparliamentary Union, IPU, Honorable Hawa Rosalind Siafa, Chairperson. Honorable Ibrahim Tawa Conte, Deputy Chair. Honorable Edward George, President, Young Legislator. Honorable Christopher Kekura Bandi, Member. Honorable Anis Sandi, Member. Honorable Sia Mahawa Tommy, Member. Honorable Foyo Tolly, Member. There will be two representatives of the APC. Honorable Pastor Munda, Member, and Honorable Parantarawali, Secretary. Can I have a motion, please, for the adoption of the lists of the various delegations that I have announced?
Mr. Speaker, I so move as read.
Thank you. Any second?
I so second that motion.
And thank you, both of you. All in favor of the motion for the adoption of the list just read, say aye. Aye. And those against, say nay. The ayes have it. We shall now conclude this debate. Unfortunately, I don't know what has happened to the main lights. It doesn't seem to have gone. Can somebody please get the electrician? Okay. I understand the engineer is on his way. And I'll give the floor to the Honorable Mohammed Bangura to conclude.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, let me start by admonishing the nominees. Mr. Speaker, I want to start this afternoon by admonishing the fine gentlemen and women. Please, you are appointed out of the 7 million people as ministers and deputy ministers. Not because of your party affiliation. Because AG, the president, believes that if he puts you there, you are going to make a mark. So you are that office as a result of you being a Sierra Leonean. It has nothing to do with SLPP, nothing to do with APC. You are to serve the people of this country. Please, I want you to refrain from corruption. I said this. To refrain from corruption and uphold accountability and transparency in your offices. Please. And uphold that. Because AG, the president, he ran under that ticket. And the 7 million people wants to see a corrupt-free society. And it has to start from you. Defense Minister, Deputy. I know there are a lot of fine people in the military, but a minute of them are trying to give the military a bad name. A bad name. They are involving into civilian matters, especially land issue. You go to Waterloo. You go up to the hills. You see military officers there. Leave their barracks to go for land. Please, Deputy Minister, do that. And I want to take this afternoon, the opportunity, to please appeal to members of the courts, the judiciary. Let them please hurry up, speedily, conclude the trial of the AG, that is the Auditor General, because it borders on accountability and transparency. Please. Chief Minister, you are appointed in that office, and your appointment is a blessing for this country. Mr. Nebisenge, you look at yourself, your age, and the office you occupy today. In the past, it's meant for ageable people. now you occupy that office. So a whole lot of trust and confidence the president has in you. And I believe if you go in that office with the attitude you have as a basic education minister, you apply that one in that office, believe me, you will succeed. And I want you, Mr. Minister, to go in and introduce performance contracts to ministers. So every year, you evaluate them. You know the most performing ministries and the less performing ones. You name them and shame them. You do that. You know, Mr. Chief Minister, the civil service or public service has long been married with problems. Please, knowing you well, as an innovator, go in and introduce the digitalization of the public service. Even in Parliament, you can help us. Mr. Minister, I remember when HE, the president, said he is going to appoint ministers, or he's going to he's encouraged to appoint ministers who are farmers, who owns farm. I did not expect you to answer this, but how many of you who are farmers today? How many of you who own farms? We have to take this thing serious. If we are going to feed ourselves, you go to Sanda, carry the district. Honorable Minister, Mr. Speaker, honorable members of Parliament, agriculture, and as the President said, he wants to feed the nation. And that is where the Minister of Agriculture came in. You know, over the years, this is an area where we have not done much to feed the people. You go out there, people are struggling to have a daily meal. So with you, young as you are, educated, we expect you to come with new ideas in the agricultural field. Remove the necktie and the coat. Go to the field and interact with farmers. Give loan to farmers and give loan to who is due, regardless their party, their region. Honorable Speaker, I will be brief today. Let me take this opportunity to address my APC friends and family again. Let me take this opportunity again to say, please, honorable MPs, come to the well and subscribe to the oath of office. Come to the well and subscribe to the oath of office. In the past, the APC in the 80s had about 5 seats in Parliament. That is during the time of the Speaker's days. They make a difference. They had another elections and you have 25 or 20 seats with the SLPP 80 something, you make a difference. Now we have 54 seats in Parliament. You have 54 seats in Parliament. So if now you take part into parliamentary affairs, definitely we are going to make a difference. We are going to make the job of the majority leader very difficult. We are. So I'm appealing to my comrades to please put behind the election issues. Please, put it behind you. In life, it is not all the time you get what you want. But you take what you have and move on. So I would say, let us take the 54 seats and move on. That, if we do, will help this country, especially at a time like this. Especially at a time like this, when this country needs us most. Honorable Speaker, I want the Chief Minister to work with the Peace Commission. Please, Mr. Chief Minister, work with the Peace Commission. Summon the Peace Commission. Give them a role to play. Tell them, let them go and make peace. Let them go talk to the APC. So come in. We cannot fight all the time. The country don't need that. The people have voted. They voted. And the elections are over. So we must now think ahead. Believe me, if we come to Parliament and work, we are a government in waiting. The APC are in government in waiting. So let us not lose that opportunity. Let us not lose that opportunity at all. Mr. Speaker, as I said, I am going to be brief. I am going to be brief for the leader of government, Mr. to take over. And I hope he is going to be brief too. But before I sit down, I would want to salute Deputy Minister of Lands. Deputy Minister of Lands, he was the ADC, the personal assistant to the First Lady. We all saw how he managed the First Lady. We all saw how she managed the First Lady. And today, you have been elevated to the position of Deputy Minister of Land. So I salute you. The people love you. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, I ask you all to hurriedly approve this nominee.
I thank the honorable member for his contribution to the debate. Over to you now. I admire the brevity of your contribution. And as I always say, brevity is truly the soul of wheat. And I hope the leader of government business will follow your good example. If he's paying attention, the columns are space ID. It's only now that you are here.
No, Mr. Speaker, I don't want to say I'm tired. But brevity, the soul of wit. I and sympathy with my nominees. They have sat for so long. But it's a job. We started it from the committee stage. So it's very unfair to me to spend the individual and start to talk about them. Collectively, they are good, well educated, and up to the task. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, at this point, I want to thank you all for numerous contributions bestowed upon these noble people who have this chamber today, called the presidential appointees. They are going to help the president with simple formula. You're going to be the executive cum parliament, the catalyst, the service delivery. There is the catalyst. But today, we have some Michael Faradays in the chamber. You know, I read some amount of science in elementary science. I read so much about Michael Faraday. Today in this group, we have the Michael Faradays. And Faraday, in Michael Faraday's inventions. He started talking about them in my presentation or when I was filling out their resume. I read some innovations and some practical research that they have done. So if you see Michael Faraday, if you have read about Michael Faraday, we have electromagnetic rotation discovery. We have electromagnetic rotation discovery and the law of electrolysis. There's no way you have to describe the people like Senge without referring to Michael Faraday. These people are full of inventions. The great, the light of Geo Dixon, Slary, and of course my brother, Deputy Minister of Health, the one. I'm very proud of all of them. I'm very passionate to Leone. Try to present a square peg in a square hole. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm so pleased with what the President has done, taking into consideration a lot of other parameters. We said we are not praising them, but we are talking something about them so that they can serve the different offices of state for what they have been nominated for. But I believe they are going to deliver, Mr. Speaker, because we are not only mistaken at the committee levels. We have tried our very, very best to make sure that we are properly scrutinized. Of course, Dr. Senge, proposed chief minister, was screened for something like 1 hour. And he responded to most of the questions. But trust me, it was very interactive and intriguing too. I was happy to interview him because of his innovations. That's why on that day I sat, and today I said, we in Sierra Leone can have some Faradays. So that's why I called people who have the time to invent. So we are going to work together, work as Parliament in doing our oversight responsibilities. We are not going to chase them because they are ministers. We are chasing them because we have common goals. One of the goals is to have the project of His Excellency the President to fruition. Fits alone, the 5 pillars. So, Mr. Speaker, as I said it earlier, these are good people. For their resume, some they have served as ministers and deputy ministers in their previous positions, and they have been sent to other ministries to do their job. They have experienced so many things in their various ministries. But Mr. Speaker, when I asked Dr. Senge, I said in the 5th Parliament, or even in other administrations, we have something like administrative bullying. And he said, what? I said, you have where there's difference between a minister and deputy minister. Job description is not properly outlined. He said, oh yes. I said, for me, I did my job description for my deputy very well. In charge of school feeding programs. We said, not you. We're talking about the general concept of deputies to your ministers. And I made reference to Section 62 of the 1991 Constitution, Act number 6.
And I said, you have the ministers in charge of their ministry and their MPs. And in between the minister and the deputy minister, you have the permanent secretary, who is the administrative head. They are always there. In fact, I can say at the moment, if not talking about their retirement age, if they are below the retirement age, their position is like almost sacrosanct. You can just rotate them. But you cannot rotate their attitude. You can rotate their position, rotate them from one ministry to the other. They are properly sitting. But what we can do as Parliament, Mr. Speaker, permit me to say this one to you. What we can do as Parliament, help these ministers do their oversight. But Mr. Senga was very precise in his statement. Now look, I will push for tax responsibilities to be given to every minister to ensure there is proper administration. So proper line of responsibility between ministers and deputy ministers. Because by constitution, you are in charge. You, the minister, your deputy, should work together. Sometimes the permanent secretary, all due respect to them, some deliberately become very obstructive because of certain selfish reasons. And they can come to play a game between the ministers and their deputies. So we are saying this is Parliament and this is administration. We don't want to see such attitude occurring in ministries. Of course, maladministration, where we are seeing or we have had ministers and deputy ministers fighting among themselves on the radio. So it's not a palatable one for any administration. So he promised us. I said he will do it. So we are looking forward to that. So in the interview, we continue to admonish them. Be cooperative. That's what we said. All of them. We are very magnanimous in talking about their bosses, the substantive ministers they are going to be. So we agree that these people are going to work hand in glove. But the resume and what they are going to meet is different. Because it's a whole conglomerate of people they are going to meet with different attitudes. So it can be good. I'm talking about Dr. Uri. She has a very beautiful and attractive resume. It's hard work. But they're dealing with people and a political head. So sometimes you have to deal with people with different backgrounds. So in different where you have stricto sensu, purely academic. You just focus on one. But it's going to be multiplicities of things, events that you are going to do. So they need our support. So the support we can give them the oversight functions. Then I said, there's something peculiar about our Parliament. Having the paramount chiefs. I call them the mediators. The kings of our motherland, Sierra Leone. Whenever I talk about MPs, especially men, take out the paramount chief special and say something about them. Because I'm a chief coming from Kukakeja and Bulamaya. Yeah, I'm a GP, don't worry about that. So with your wisdom in arbitrating our traditional people, you are dealing with a chunk of our population who are illiterate, not by our own design, but by the making of things we have in our society. So, Mr. Speaker, Honorable colleagues, the paramount chiefs are here to talk to us. They can act as conduit between the governing side, the vision, the leaders of this nation, the SNP, and our brothers on the other side who are yet to behave accordingly. But we have our leader of the opposition sitting here, the wise man, the man who has seen so many things. He came as a political leader in another political party. And he came, he saw, he conquered. I am coming here, you can serve my people. You have done nothing wrong, my brother. Advise them. The days of representing our people is here. And remind them about the laws in the Constitution, which the Speaker has done. Continue to remember them. That the Speaker has spoken. And one day you recall his statement. We don't want them to be under the word for idle, Mr. Speaker. But Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I do appreciate your comments. Or I appreciate it very more when we do our oversight function effectively so that these people cannot be shocked like eating a ripe banana. Because that is the sole power of His Excellency the President. I salute you, ladies and gentlemen. In fact,
We said, taking Mrs. Tunis for example, says she has served the length and breadth of this administration. The first time and not coming to the second time. Well, the reason why I'm mentioning it, you have to copy something. So you cannot be shuffled because of your own negligence. Because the responsibility is executive powers. Section 61 of the Constitution, Act number 6. Today we are celebrating members of the gallery. Members of the gallery, clap for your nominees, clap. That provision gives the president to hire and fire too. So are you ready to clap for Mr. President? By all means, if you are not performing, Mr. President said, okay, let me fire and do some reshuffle. Can you clap for Mr. President if your nominee is fired? Thank you. Well, Mr. President, that is all democracy is about. It's about the ups and downs. Democracy is about how you come and serve. That's why when I started, I said, let me refer to Michael Farage. I said, we have the Farages. Those who are friends of Parliament, most of them, we are given an appointment by His Excellency, the President. Mr. Speaker, before I take my seat, I did say, in the interview, I said, there is one provision in the standing orders. Mr. Speaker, you have been after me in the 5th Parliament. I know you are watching me. You have been after me in the 5th Parliament, reminding me about questions to ministers. In fact, in the 5th Parliament, you called me personally. Said, SO2, oh, you go for the check how the minister will perform. I forgot a question and I already asked him. It was not because you want to go after them, because it's necessary to do to show the performance of the ministers. But in fact, I reminded my colleagues in the same provision, SO19, questions to ministers, and the chief minister in the 5th Parliament was brought to this chamber. And he came relaxed, in a relaxed mood, and he said, I'm here. I'm ready to answer the questions. I said, okay, no problem. My colleagues on the other side, they are very happy. They thought they were going to embarrass him. And some were weary about what is going to happen. But the SLPP and the APC, what are very interesting, both the former and the latter, all of them, at the end of the process, Mr. Speaker, it was like a lecture time for others. For others, it was like giving them a serious update of what is happening in the ministry, basic and secondary school education. Dr. Senya was able to talk about issues, and predicated questions were asked also. And he was able to produce his data that is generated. That I have this data. I can refer you to school in this area and tell you exactly what is happening. So it's not anything that you go after minister when you receive questions from MPs. It's just a way for us to interact with you all. So those who are going to be in charge of the 5 pillars, be ready for questions from my colleagues. This is their right. It's a democratic right to ask questions. And Mr. Speaker, there are guiding lines. What do we do during question time? So without much ado, I just join my colleagues in anticipation to congratulate you. And that you can do well. For me, I have no doubt. The only doubt I have is that if APC will ever come to power, that's the only doubt I have. It can be government in 50 forever. But I'm really pleased with them. I'm happy to have them. Mr. Speaker, we are happy to have you. My colleagues, I salute you all for your numerous contributions. I thank you very much for what you have said for them today. May the Lord bless us all. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I move that the third report of the first session of the 6th Parliament of the Committee on Appointment and Public Service be adopted by the House, and the recommendation therein be approved. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I thank the majority leader and leader of government business Honorable members, the nominees of His Excellency the President, members of the public occupying the galleries, before I put the question, I would like to admonish all of you that when the question is put and a vote is taken and the vote is carried, and I make my pronouncement, that is not the end of the proceedings. You remain seated until I have concluded my own comment. What we've observed of late is the moment I pronounce the last word on the vote, both nominees and their supporters rise and leave the chamber. It should not be that way. We should not, in fact, be leaving the chamber until the speaker leaves the chamber. And that goes for all of you in the galleries. Please. Bambu dem, make a talk SO2. When I put the vote and I declare the result of the vote, not to for Halawante and make noise. The celebration will come later outside of the chamber. So dear, when I go wait today, I'll come on and do, then when I can begin the celebration. And the protocol that this place, yeah? So, honorable members, the question I have to put to all of you is that the third report of the first session of the 6th Parliament of the Committee on Appointments and the Public Service be adopted by the House, and that the recommendations contained therein be approved. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. And those against say nay. The ayes have it, have it, have it.
The motion of the Committee on Appointment and Public Service has been approved.
It is now my honor and privilege to add my own humble voice to the chorus of approval that we have heard from the honorable members of this chamber. I say to you, the nominees, severally and collectively, you epitomize the highest qualifications there are for appointment to your respective ministries. And I'm sure your qualifications are what have impressed His Excellency the President to no end to appoint you to your respective ministries. You've earned His trust, and from the chorus of contributions in this well, this Parliament would like to say it has endorsed the nominations made by His Excellency the President. For earning the trust of His Excellency and earning the trust of this Parliament does not mean that you've also earned our confidence. We see a galaxy of qualifications amongst you. Very, very impressive. The only thing one can say, amongst you, we see a paucity of experience. Yes, experience in public life. But that will come with time. It will come with time. And I'm confident that with time, most, if not all of you, will acquire the necessary experience to back up the qualifications that you have. You are leaving this chamber with very high expectations of the members of Parliament, of this Parliament, and very high expectations from the electors who have elected the members of this Parliament. I hope and pray that you will not let the President down and you will not let this Parliament. We are reasonably confident that you will help the government to achieve its goals as clearly spelled out in the manifesto, including in particular the 5 great pillars of the manifesto. On our side, in Parliament, we propose to recalibrate our oversight activity to create committees of oversight that will correspond to the 5 great pillars that the executive has established. And let me further amplify the point that the leader of government business has made. We are going to create a procedure of question time. We tried to do it during the 5th Parliament, but we never got round to implementing it. But this time around, I noticed there is a growing consensus amongst us that question time is necessary. It's part of our oversight responsibility. When we call you for questions, it doesn't mean that we are chasing you in any shape or form. We want you to understand that we are simply carrying out our own responsibility, our own duty, constitutional duty, to ensure that you do your job well, that the government fulfills its aspirations for the people of this country. So there is a commonality between what you do and what we do in this country. There is no divergence. We're all aiming at the same destination, to provide a successful government, a successful implementation of government policy. So we wish you well in your new assignments. Now is the time to acquire experience in public life. The qualification side you've got in abundance. And I admire all the wonderful degrees that you all are It reminds me of my own younger days. For some of us manufactured in the 40s and 50s, our warranty time has long expired. For most of you, you're still within the warranty time. We're only now waiting to inch our way towards the exit door and bid farewell. But you are, as well as we in this chamber, have a legacy to leave, not just for our generation, but for generations yet unborn. The achievements we see foreign countries make were not made by one generation, but by a series of generations in their time. Let us go with one feeling. What the European nations have done, what the Asians have done in the area of achievement and development, we too can do it. It's not impossible. More particularly, I compare ourselves with the Asians, who were at the same level yesterday. Today, they seem to be on a higher level than African countries. But there is no reason why Sierra Leone cannot become the Singapore of West Africa. All we need is dedication and determination to achieve the goals clearly set out by the manifesto of the ruling party. I wish you well, and I wish you Allah's blessings in the discharge of your new assignment. Good luck, and God bless. Any announcements?
Announcement. Honorable members of Parliament are kindly informed that the first phase of the induction program for the 6th Parliament will officially commence from 7th to the 11th of August 2023. Members are also informed to contact the Office of the Clerk or the Center for Strategy and Parliamentary Studies for further information. Thank you.
Honorable members, we are not meeting tomorrow. The chamber will be needed for preparation for the state opening, scheduled to take place on Thursday, the 3rd of August. With that, we stand adjourned to Thursday, 3rd of August at 10 a.m. prompt.
This?
Yes, sir.
So we'll go left now. It's the Unity Broadcasting, as we go there again Thursday for the state opening of Parliament. And thank you.